from Aorere College, Irish, Shadia and Sandra. We are here to share a little bit about our findings from Mahurangi Harbour Estuary and the importance of ocean ecology. Toitu te marae a tane, toitu te marae a tangaroa, toitu te tangata. If the land is well and the sea is well, then the people will thrive. If the sea is well, then people will be well. However, people aren't taking good care of the ocean, which is a crisis because we're so connected to the ocean as a Pacific nation. Hence, this is why we are interested in changes that occur in the ocean caused by human impact. Our research project aims to investigate how tidal currents influence circulation and the ecology of Te Mahurangi Estuary, which will help us protect the ocean for future generations.
So, how did we answer this question? Well, we went to Mahurangi Harbour Estuary. If you're wondering what is an estuary is basically a body of water where salt water and seawater mix. And the reason we chose Mahurangi is because this is a body of water that gets interacted with humans a lot. So when we went there were mussel farming. As you can see, there's also a regional park, so kids go play. So it has a lot of interaction with us humans. How did we get there? We boarded this beautiful savory charter at Prince Wharf. It is an absolute amazing boat on an amazing day in the middle of winter, thankfully. How do we take our measurements? As you can see on that side, we have the transects. These are the places where we stop to collect our data. In order to collect this data, we lowered this device, which is called an RBR Duo. I'm quite unfamiliar with the name. This one device measures three things at the same time. Temperature, how hot and cold the water is. Depth, how deep does it go. Turbidity, which is basically how cloudy the water gets. And PAR, which is a fancy word, photosynthetic active radiation, basically how much light can go into the water. What did we find with this? Well, we found that, okay, the purple bit is closest to the shore, and as you go, you're getting deeper. We found that as the depth increased, the temperature also increased. And also, it's also amazing that how it's also layered instead of just mixing. And also, when it comes to salinity is basically how salty the water gets. So we can see we have fresh water for approximately 4 kilometers, which is like 40 rugby fields. And after that, salinity, the salt water just comes under it and slowly then comes to the top. And also turbidity means how clear the water is. As we can see, the closer we are to the shore, it's pretty cloudy, but as we move away from the shore, it gets very clear. And PAR, basically how much light can go through the water. So the closer we're to the shore, there is less light because it's more cloudy, and as we move away, the water gets clearer, so more light can go in. And yeah.
Okay, so basically what we learned was that the Mahurangi Harbour Estuary tidal currents are controlled by the ecosystem structure, basically the biodiversity and buffer. But climate change could also affect the distribution of nutrients, the natural balance of salinity, and the spawning of marine species, basically the birth of marine species. These factors affect the growth of small organisms and therefore the overall health of the ecosystem. We also learned that humans are having a big impact on the ecosystem, and we could monitor this impact of a chemical spill on land. This data set allows us to monitor these changes and support future measures to support the ecosystem.
As you see, we went to the Mahurangi Estuary. The boat trip was a success. The weather was perfect. Each student had a chance to participate in this experiment, collecting data and observing the interplay between tidal current and the estuary's ecosystem. The hands-on experiment was not only informative but also engaging. It was a joy to see everyone so eagerly involved, sharing their observation and collaborating on this research. Following the board expedition, we went to AUT University Department to process and analyze the marine data we had gathered. This